Hello, my name is Stefan Schmitz, and I head up product management for analytic apps at Oracle. In this session, you will learn about what's on the roadmap for Fusion Analytics, a suite of end-to-end packaged analytic apps that are purpose-built for Oracle Cloud application customers. Let's start with a look at the Oracle Analytics product portfolio. At the bottom, we have Oracle Analytics Cloud. The Analytics Cloud is a comprehensive cloud-first analytics suite built with AI and machine learning infused throughout the entire platform. This suite supports all types of business intelligence and analytic needs in your organization. So everything from governed business intelligence, operational reporting, self-service data discovery, and augmented analytics. Together with data services, data science, and other services provided by Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Analytics Cloud enables customers to build a very broad spectrum of custom analytics solutions. The on-premises equivalent of the Oracle Analytics Cloud is the Oracle Analytics Server, and this product is available to customers that are not yet fully ready to move their BI and analytics solutions to the cloud. It essentially provides the same capabilities as the Oracle Analytics Cloud, but can be operated and managed by customers in their own data center. Now, using the Analytics Cloud and the Oracle Autonomous Data Warehouse as a foundation, Oracle has developed Fusion Analytics to provide a prepackaged analytics service to its Fusion Cloud application customers. These packaged Fusion Analytic apps are available for customers using Fusion ERP Cloud, HCM Cloud, Supply Chain Management Cloud, and also CX Cloud. For the small and mid-market customers using NetSuite today, Oracle also offers an equivalent packaged analytic app with NetSuite Analytics. So what are the customer needs and challenges that Fusion Analytics solves, and what is the vision for this product offering? Now, customers of Fusion Cloud applications are aggregating data at a vast scale about their finances, operations, employees, customers, supply chain partners, and much more. It's obviously no secret that this data sitting in the Fusion Cloud applications can be a great source for competitive advantage and differentiation. But historically, it's a very costly and time-consuming undertaking for customers to collect, combine, and aggregate this data so it becomes readily available to answer deep analytics questions and also support data-driven decision-making in your organization. Now, Fusion Analytics addresses exactly this challenge. It makes your Fusion application data available for analytics with a pre-packaged solution. So just as enterprise software has kind of brought standards and best practices to operational apps and eliminated the need for custom app development in many organizations, Fusion Analytics brings this level of standardization and best practices, plus also a fast time to value to analytic apps. Now, our ultimate vision is for Fusion Analytics to serve as a very powerful data platform that will provide the intelligence, to inform and also direct both operational and strategic decisions that can really transform how your organization ultimately runs its business. So let's take a closer look at what Fusion Analytics provides today. So Fusion Analytics, again, is a turnkey analytics offering. It's designed and optimized for Fusion Cloud application customers. What it does, it automatically moves all your Fusion application data into the Autonomous Data Warehouse. So as a customer, you don't need to worry about ETL, database design, tuning, and so forth. Oracle takes complete care of running and maintaining the entire data pipeline. This pipeline runs with zero downtime, handles changes in the Fusion source application schemas, changes in hierarchies fully automatically. This means that any new release of your Fusion Cloud application won't break this data pipeline. It won't break any of the reports and dashboards that you have built in Fusion Analytics. Now, beyond a shared data model, Fusion Analytics also provides a highly curated semantic model built using the Analytics Cloud, alongside pre-built reports and dashboards that you can use right away out of the box or simply as a starting point for your custom content development. With Fusion Analytics, customers essentially get best practice content in the form of many KPIs, numerous subject areas that are based on Oracle's deep expertise in both business processes and analytics. Now, while Fusion Analytics provides great value for analytics on top of your Fusion Cloud application data, you can also bring in external data into the data warehouse, extend the semantic model, and thereby support even more interesting and impactful analytic use cases. So from that perspective, Fusion Analytics is really the best of two worlds. It's both SaaS and PaaS. It's SaaS because you can start exploring your Fusion application data with minimal development effort. And it's also PaaS because as a native Oracle Cloud Infrastructure service, it's built on top of the Autonomous Data Warehouse and the Analytics Cloud. And you can leverage the full power of these platform services to both extend and customize the service and meet your specific requirements and needs. So now let's turn our attention to the product roadmap with a look at the content roadmap for Fusion Analytics across each of the Fusion application pillars. So first up, we have Fusion ERP Analytics. So this is the first product that we launched as part of the Fusion Analytics product family. Our initial focus has been on enabling core financial analytics, so taking data from GL, AP, and AR, and allowing finance users to understand what's driving profitability, revenue, and costs in your organization. So our current customers are using it to drive investment decisions and operational improvements, including faster time to close. Now, more recently, the product expanded into supporting spend, expenses, and procurement analytics, as well as support of projects and fixed assets data. On the near-term horizon, we plan to expand this product across a number of different areas. For core financials, a key priority is to add support of better cross-finance analytics with so-called configurable account analysis. Now, this is one of the most requested features by our current set of customers. What it does, it will provide user-defined account analysis templates that enable you to get a composite view of end-to-end GL account activity with subledger transactional details for selected sources. What these templates essentially do is to drive the automatic generation of custom subject areas for any desired GL to subledger analytics use cases. Now, furthermore, we're also enhancing the receivables aging subject area to calculate remaining balances based on accounting date, and with that, help to reconcile receivables balances with the general ledger. Support of the Accounting Hub is also in development. This will provide fine-grained subledger analytics. And also a much requested feature is a connector for Oracle Enterprise Performance Management. This will essentially allow customers to bring in EPM data for both budgets and forecasts, and then alongside actuals to enable variance analysis related use cases. For procurement, we already have pretty strong coverage across purchasing and spend analytics, and we're next planning to add support of sourcing data. And then finally, in the area of projects, we first released project costs and commitments, then added project budgets and forecasts. And next, we plan to get into project funding and also project revenues, then invoices, and eventually add support for project performance and grants. Now, next, we have the content roadmap for Fusion Supply Chain Management Analytics, which comes with ready-to-use KPIs for minimizing process inefficiencies and disruptions, as well as optimizing customer service. Nowadays, supply chain management analytics is still relatively new. We released it only at the end of last calendar year. Nonetheless, the product already offers pretty good coverage across order management, inventory, and purchasing. Cost accounting is an area where we continue to add coverage, and next we plan to add support of work orders as a first starting point into manufacturing analytics. We still have a lot of ground to cover in terms of supply chain planning, global trade management, warehouse management, and more, but that's all on the longer term roadmap. Support of ESG analytics is also on the roadmap, but I will get to that specific topic in a bit more detail later on in this session. Now let's take a look at the roadmap for HCM analytics next. This product is essentially designed to deliver deep workforce insights and drive decisions that impact how your organization hires, supports, develops, and ultimately retains its workforce. So HCM analytics already provides extensive coverage across core and talent, payroll, compensation, absences, and other areas. And it is used today by our customers to foster workforce mobility, understand the root causes of headcount gains and losses, and also help to reduce employee attrition. We very recently released employee journeys and profile matching, which is a very powerful new subject area that helps you to identify both skill gaps as well as opportunity gaps in case of employees that have underutilized skills in their current job roles. Now on the roadmap, we're adding support of custom bands for performance, employee potential, and tenure analytics. And we're also adding enhancements, including rolling 12-month headcount, position-based metrics, bottom-up hierarchies, and notably also the ability to hide out-of-the-box content, which actually many of our customers have been waiting for. We're furthermore planning various enhancements in terms of user security support. We're bringing in AOR data from HCM Cloud to make it easier for you to set up security in the first place. We're also adding reporting support on security audits and assignments, and we're expanding the support of all the security context with the talent acquisition area. Now, in general, as we look at this roadmap with HCM analytics, we're shifting focus from the analytic needs of the HR specialist and the analyst persona more and more to the needs of the people managers. Finally, we have Fusion CX Analytics, which is our latest addition to the Fusion Analytics product family. Now, this product combines data from the front, middle, and back office to provide customers with a full view across the entire B2B revenue waterfall and lead to cash process. It gives professionals across sales, marketing, and service in your organization, the needed insights into any revenue-generating activities. So what CX Analytics essentially does, it delivers what we call revenue intelligence, with cross-functional analytics and eventually also the support of advanced forecasting. Now, currently, we're working on enabling analytics for account-based marketing, which we also call engineered selling here, which will include the support of analyzing marketing attribution effectiveness. And we're also continuously building out support for analytics of subscription management with the planned integration of AR data coming from ERP Cloud, as well as support of enhanced historical trending. Also already in development is analytics for B2B service management with customer lifecycle analysis and much more. And then further out on the product roadmap for CX Analytics, we plan to add support for quotes, incentive comp data, as well as pricing optimization. Now, common to all Fusion Analytics pillar products are numerous enhancements of the extensibility framework, user security, configuration, and other admin and developer features. So in terms of extensibility enhancements, we are planning to add support of more complex joins in the data extensions. In the area of user security, access exclusions based on group assignments will be supported very soon. We're also planning to provide much better visibility into the status of your data pipeline runs, as well as support to do more frequent data refreshes for selected functional areas like the general ledger. The rollout of several new data centers is also planned, including support of the UK GovCloud next calendar year. Furthermore, we plan to support multiple different languages in a single Fusion Analytics deployment. And then we have a number of other major features in development. One of them is the Oracle Analytics Cloud apps consolidation and managed pipelines, but I'm going to talk about those two particular areas of investment in more detail in a few minutes. Now, cross-functional analytics is specific focus area for Fusion Analytics. The 4 pillar products in Fusion Analytics already share the same data model and semantic model and include various conformed dimensions like time, department, and so forth. So why is cross-functional analytics so important? Well, increasingly, heads of finance, HR, sales, operations, and so forth are expected to collaborate and are increasingly held accountable to a shared set of KPIs. So take HR and finance as an example. Historically, these two functions aren't well aligned. HR primarily tracks their own business performance by measuring, for example, the velocity of candidates moving through the hiring pipeline or the time needed to turn candidates into new hires and so forth. But obviously much more impactful from an overall organizational perspective is to track metrics that capture how well employees actually perform and drive the company's bottom line. So this means being able to look at new hire performance in the context of financial results by tracking KPIs or metrics like revenue or profitability per employee. Now, ESG analytics is another great example of how Fusion Analytics can drive insights across data from multiple functional domains. Now, ever since regulators, investors, and customers have started holding businesses accountable for their sustainability footprint, executives in those organizations are looking at sustainability as an area of increased investments and are also willing to tie compensation to the attainment of those sustainability goals. Now, ESG analytics requires obviously data from a variety of different sources, finance, supply chain, HR, but also a number of other disparate sources, which explains why Fusion Analytics and its extensibility framework provides such a great foundation for enabling ESG analytics. ESG analytics powered by Fusion Analytics will provide a number of different dashboards to visualize metrics around a host of ESG focus areas. So such as carbon emissions, renewable energy usage, progress towards diversity and inclusion targets, and also progress towards meeting compliance and regulatory guidelines. Now let's next talk about the extensibility framework in a bit more detail and also about what lies in store on the product roadmap for adding data from non-Fusion sources in order to deepen and expand the scope of analytic use cases supported by Fusion Analytics. First of all, Fusion Analytics is extensible at all layers of the stack, so customers can integrate any data into the autonomous data warehouse via a data integration tool of their choice. It could be the Oracle Data Integrator, it could be Informatica. The product makes it possible to create custom schemas in the underlying autonomous data warehouse instance alongside the factory schema for Fusion data, which is managed by Oracle. Now, on top of that, Fusion Analytics provides a set of wizards for extending the semantic model, extending factory dimensions and facts, creating new hierarchies, entirely new subject areas based on the data that you bring in from other sources in combination with the Fusion data managed by Oracle. With Fusion Analytics, a key design goal of this entire extensibility framework was to ensure that any extension of the out-of-the-box product will carry forward from release to release. And the way Oracle ensures this forward and backward compatibility is by essentially locking down the factory ETL, the factory database schema, and semantic model in the product, while at the same time providing governed extension points in the form of the wizard that I mentioned earlier that guide a developer through the process of extending Fusion Analytics with external data and semantics. Now, to make it even easier for customers of Fusion Analytics to bring in data from other apps and sources, we're working on introducing so-called managed data pipelines. So in the same way that Oracle manages the pipeline for Fusion data, with managed pipelines, customers only need to configure what data to import from a non-Fusion source, for example, salesforce.com. And then Fusion Analytics will manage the entire process of extraction and loading of the data into the warehouse. This essentially eliminates the need for customers to operate their own data pipelines for non-Fusion sources using tools, again, like Oracle Data Integrator or Informatica. The great thing is that the data pipelines for Fusion and non-Fusion sources will run on the same schedule, so that the autonomous data warehouse is always updated at the same time. And the sources for which managed pipelines are currently in development are listed here on this slide. Our plan is to develop additional managed pipelines for other apps and sources based on customer demand going forward. Now, quite a few customers that are adopting Fusion Analytics already have Oracle Analytics Cloud instances that run custom analytics solutions. And some of these customers have told us that they would like to consolidate Fusion Analytics with these custom solutions and offer essentially a single pane of glass to their end users. Now, based on this feedback, we are planning to introduce a new capability that will enable customers to merge both the semantic model and the content catalog from an existing but separate Oracle Analytics Cloud instance into Fusion Analytics. Besides the single pane of glass and consolidation benefits, this capability can also be used for extending the Fusion Analytics factory semantic model in much more sophisticated ways than is possible today with the built-in extensibility framework. Moreover, this capability will also enable Oracle partners to create reusable IP in the form of analytic app modules that customers can then deploy, and that will extend the core value proposition of Fusion Analytics. Now, our primary focus with Fusion Analytics until now has been to expand coverage across all the Fusion application pillars and different functional areas and address kind of core analytics requirements. Now, while this effort to go broad and expand coverage will continue, we are also going deep and adding support for advanced analytic capabilities powered by AI and ML across each of the pillar products. Now, Fusion Analytics customers today can already take advantage of the augmented analytics capabilities in Analytics Cloud, as well as AI and data science capabilities in the autonomous data warehouse and OCI. But on top of that, what we're doing now is we are currently have several use cases in development as part of Fusion Analytics that are powered by machine learning and advanced analytics, and that will provide pre-built out-of-the-box support with ready-to-consume insights. So for example, for Fusion ERP Analytics, we are working on machine learning models that can predict the risk of late payments for both customer and vendor invoices. This will help to improve collections, cash flow, vendor management, and so forth. Also on the ERP side, we're working on machine learning models that can identify anomalous expenses in order to prevent fraud and improve the processing times of expense reports. On the HCM side, we're using advanced analytics to uncover exclusion biases in recruiting, promotions, and compensation practices. Also in development on the HR side are machine learning models to generate job-to-person match scores and identify skill gaps in order to drive improvements in workforce distribution. Now, all of these use cases shown here are currently in preview, meaning we have customers testing them, and we hope to fully GA some of these use cases quite soon. We also have a number of other use cases in research and development that we expect to make available for preview fairly soon. For example, going beyond predicting late payment risk, we're also working on models to predict when an invoice will be paid by a customer or to a vendor. Another use case in research and development is a new model to identify duplicate invoices in order to avoid payments and fraud. And again, based on customer demand and feasibility, obviously, we will add even more such use cases over time. Here's just a quick look at how results of these machine learning models get exposed in the subject areas of Fusion Analytics. So essentially, both the risk or likelihood output scores generated by the machine learning models, plus the model accuracy metrics are made available as attributes and metrics for reporting and visualization purposes. Now, ultimately, we envision these model outputs to directly drive the decision and intelligence within the core Fusion app that I talked about at the beginning of this session. which brings me to the last topic of this roadmap session, which is our vision to more tightly integrate Fusion Analytics into the core Fusion app. Our product direction is to make Fusion Analytics an integral part of the Fusion app's experience. Our goal is to really empower Fusion application users with both descriptive and prescriptive insights right within the core business workflows that they are engaged in every day using Fusion Cloud applications. So as part of this, we plan to bring the analytic and predictive capabilities of Fusion Analytics and the transactional reporting capabilities of Fusion apps called OTBI together, both from an architecture and from a user experience perspective. So we envision users of Fusion apps to eventually experience just a continuum of transactional reporting and deep analytics insights throughout the entire core Fusion app, where and when it matters most in support of both operational and strategic decision-making. With that, I would like to thank you for watching this roadmap session. To learn more about Fusion Analytics and the Oracle Analytics product portfolio, please visit oracle.com. Thank you.